All right. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Dr. Laline Tiongson, and I will be the host of today's Zoom conference. So, for those in Zoom, kindly rename yourself first to your surname, first name, and MG Lala. Now, if you are watching via portal, hello and good morning to you. Ayan, isang maaraw na umaga.
Make me a co-host, Lala.
Now, today is August 17, Thursday. So, for those of you asking, it is 64 days to go before the first day of your board exam. Yan. So, 64 days, guys. Medyo may time pa kayo mag-aral. So, go, go, go. Ayusin nyo na yung mga kailangan yung ayusin. And by now, sana nakapag-apply na kayo sa PRC. Diba? Or at least nakuha nyo na lahat ng requirements na kailangan ninyo. Before we start this day, please join me for a short prayer. Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Lord, true source of light and wisdom, lofty origin of all being, graciously let a ray of your brilliance penetrate into the darkness of my understanding, and take from me the double darkness in which I have been born, an obscurity of both sin and ignorance. Give me a sharp sense of understanding, a retentive memory, and the ability to grasp things correctly and fundamentally. Grant me the talent of being exact in my explanations and the ability to express myself with thoroughness and charm. Point out the beginning, direct its progress, and help in its completion. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. So a few rules, especially for those in Zoom. I will be the host of this teleconference. Please have your audio on mute. You may unmute your audio to answer questions and of course to give feedback. Any video recording, screen shooting, or screen recording of any part of the program is strictly prohibited, and please observe proper decorum at all times. If you have a concern, you can message me or your mother Goose through Viber. If it's urgent, you can call us. If you want to share suggestions, recommendations, message us through Viber. And of course, for your academic related concerns, no, mga handout concerns, questions, please message Big Daddy Doc Broly in his official Facebook account. And always wear that smile and be happy. So let's start, everyone. So today we will have the introduction to surgery, and Doc Broly will give us a short introduction to surgery. Good morning, Doc Broly.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, sandali lang ah. Let me share my screen. Okay, first, before I give my introduction to surgery, please be aware, okay, that we have a top-notch mnemonics contest just for fun. The prize is 4 tickets to Spirals Buffet sa Sofitel. So, this will be given to, kailangan manalo ka muna ng contest and then kailangan mong pumasa ng board exam. So, hopefully, you'll be able to utilize those Spiral Buffet tickets kapag oath-taking na. Kasi yung oath-taking nyo will be at PICC. The closest hotel will be Sofitel. Okay? So ano yung rules regarding this mnemonics contest, Doc? The mnemonic that you submit must be original. Hindi siya taken from review book, textbook, okay, or ginawa ng ibang tao. It must be original. It must come from you. It must be board relevant. Okay? It must be witty. Dapat matatawa kami, ma-amuse kami, okay? At dapat madali siyang maalala. Okay? So, we've had this contest before. We've stopped it for 1 or 2 years dahil, di ba meron ngang study hindi nakakatulong yung paggawa ng mga mnemonics kapag estudyante yung gumagawa. Okay? We've decided to restart this simply because probably in 100, there are 1 or 2 people na maganda talaga yung mnemonic nila that is really worth sharing. So, we decided to restart the top-notch mnemonics contest. Just for fun, you can submit as many entries as you want. Okay? Deadline will be on September 15. I'll announce the winner about a week or 2 after. Okay? And then I'll release yung mga pinakamagagandang mnemonics for you para magamit ninyo. So ako na yung mag-filter. Just submit. Okay, the very best mnemonics I'll filter and then I'll share with everyone. Para at that time, by September 15 onwards, hindi na kayo gawa ng sarili niyong mnemonic. Hindi kayo kumukuha masyado ng oras. So the very best, filter na natin. Okay, next, surgery. Doc, gaano kahirap ang surgery sa medboards? Surprisingly, when I was reading the feedback for the past year, some students describe it as fair. So basically, that's easy for them. Some students describe it as super hard. So, hindi siya pare-parehas. Hindi siya katulad halimbawa ng pato or ng anatomy na universally in unison lahat ng estudyante, doc, mahirap. Hindi siya katulad ng micro or legal med na in unison yung mga lahat ng mga estudyante, doc, fair, madali lang. Dito sa surgery, napaka-variable ng mga feedback in terms of, especially in terms of difficulty. So when we explore this further based on our focus group discussions, it's student dependent yung basa namin. What do I mean? For students who have read the handout and have watched the videos, they struggle less with surgery. Okay? So they're the ones who describe the exam as fair. Those who were able to read the handout but not watch the videos, nag-struggle na, nahihirapan na sila pagdating sa med boards. And those who weren't able to watch the videos and did not finish the handout at all, sila yung pinaka nag-struggle. So, we would recommend that especially for this subject, that you go through the handout and you never skip the video lectures. The video lectures here are long, but they are very thorough. They will cover all the entire handout. So, okay, handout plus lecture videos tayo for this subject. Okay, do not skip the lecture videos. Okay, the med boards have been for the past 2 or 3 years have been covering mainly general surgery. Yung mga super specialties like TCVS, ophthalmology, orthopedics, may mga occasionally questions na lumilitaw, but they're so few and relatively easy, okay, that to save on time, to save on space, to save on the handouts, we decided not to get an ortho lecturer to give an ortho lecture for 1 hour, not TCVS to lecture for another hour. We decided to skip all the super specialties, have you just focus on the GS. Okay? Crossover questions, especially for the March 2023 batch, are especially notable. Nandyan siya. Karamihan ng mga crossover questions ng surgery came from IM. So you will need the knowledge ng IM also for surgery. Madami-dami, significant yung percentage ng IM questions na naliligaw dito sa surgery. Okay? So recommendations, Doc, paano aralin to? Watch the lecture videos. Do not skip. Okay? Do not sacrifice the lecture videos for the handouts. The video lectures of Dr. Antonio, katulad siya ng style ko sa Fisio. Meaning more or less, we will cover from page 1 all the way to the last page. It will be more or less pag panood mo yung lecture videos ni Sir, okay, nakapag first reading ka na ng handout. So sabay nyo panoorin yung lecture video ni Sir, okay, sasabay nyo siya sa handout. Again, large screen, TV, projector is best. Strong, loud speakers, wag headphones, okay, for this. Some students will opt na, Doc, can I increase the playback speed ni Sir to 1.25, 1.5x? You can. We can recommend anywhere from 1 to 1.25 actually. Okay? But personally, nung ina-assess ko, when I was trying to write my own notes based on the lecture ni Sir, medyo nahirapan na ako mag-notes nung 1.25x yung speed ng video. Okay? However, mas madaling siyang pakinggan pag 1.25x, pero mas mahirap makinig ng lecture while writing down notes. Okay, so tansyahin nyo guys kasi iba-ibang tao. Yung iba mas mabilis magsulat, mag-write ng notes compared to other people. Tansyahin ninyo. Okay, but you can. Okay, to save on time, 25% faster kayo, 1.25x. I really cannot recommend 1.5x as playback speed for Dr. Antonio. Masyado nang mabilis for me kapag ganun. Okay? You have a very good combination of lecturers for surgery. For the main lectures, okay, main lecture videos for the next 4 days, you'll have Dr. Lubomir Antonio. Okay? And then for the pearls, you'll have Dr. Mabugat. Si Dr. Mabugat na magbibigay din ng summary lecture ninyo. Okay? At ng quiz master. Guys, solid na. Itong lineup natin for surgery, very, very solid yan. Attend, magaling. Okay? Yung dalawang yan, sobra. Okay? So, handouts. The handout is 117 pages long, covers general surgery. Okay, the topics are listed in the table of contents found on page 1 of your handout. Okay, there will be 12 lecture videos. All 12 lecture videos have already been uploaded. Okay, the total lecture time of all of these 12 is 22 hours, 43 minutes. So it's almost 24 hours, no? So, Doc, ba't na yung ganyan? Basically, yung lecture style ni Sir is katulad ng pre-pandemic style niya. Yung talagang hindi nag-cherry pick, talagang kinover niya from page 1 all the way to the last page. That's why I've told you, pag natapos kayo sa lecture video ni Sir, basically tapos na rin kayo ng first reading. Okay? So, we would recommend that you do, sorry for this, 4 lecture videos per day. Okay? So, tiga-apat kung 12 yan. 4 lecture videos per day for 3 days. And then 1 day, okay, yung last day ninyo, allot that for self-reading, yung mga hindi nyo pa natapos, for example, and practice test. That's probably the schedule that I would recommend if I was taking my board exams right now. So, di-divide ko yan by 4. Okay, may 4 days for surgery and then yung last day, okay, parang ano yan, for the practice test na o kaya yung mga kailangan ko pang habulin, yung mga backlogs ko for that subject. Okay? So these are your lecture videos, the 12 lecture videos for surgery. Okay? So for those na going on-site, the on-site classes would be for the next 3 days starting tomorrow. Okay, Doc, ano yung itsura ng on-site lectures namin? Dr. Lubomir Antonio wanted to cover the following topics. Head and neck, thyroid, parathyroid, breast, esophagus, stomach, liver, gallbladder, colon, rectum, and anus. Okay, we'll cover it for 8 hours for 1 whole day. And then i-repeat niya for 3 days. So if you were assigned to day 1, you don't need to attend day 2 or day 3. If you were assigned to day 2, you don't need to attend day 1 or day 3. You just need to attend one of the 3 days. Okay? Registration status so far, na nagpa-register for the surgery on-site. Unequal yung number. Marami nag-register for day 1, which is tomorrow. Less yung sa day 3. So we're going to use the timestamps and going to move people from day 1. We're going to move some of them to day 2 and some of them to day 3. So please wait confirmation regarding kung anong day kayo ma-assign. Okay? Doc, can we walk in? Medyo may hirapan tayo mag-walk in ngayon for this subject, especially for day 1. Okay, actually, I think for day 2 baka mahirapan din. Baka hindi kayo ma-accommodate kapag nag-walk in kayo. So it's better if you want to walk in, okay, you need to get in touch with your Mother Goose, and the Mother Goose will get in touch with the Mother Goose for on-site, assigned for the on-site, to confirm kung may slot for you. So don't go to the site na walang confirmation. Yung talagang bareback walk-in, yung talagang didiretso na lang kayo doon na hindi nagpapaalam sa NG o hindi kayo registered. Okay? For surgery, baka hindi kayo ma-accommodate, especially for day 1. So iwas hassle, magpaalam muna. Okay? Kung mabalak mag-walk-in. Okay? Best kung registered na, sundan nyo na lang yung registered schedule ninyo. Okay? So all your teachers, for the main handout and main lecture, you have Dr. Lubomir Cyrus Antonio or Dr. Lu Antonio. Okay? A graduate of Our Lady of Fatima University. Okay? One of the top students ng Fatima during his time. Top 1 ng board exams niya noong Feb 2003. Aminado ako, among all of your teachers sa top notch, si Dr. Lu ang pinakamatalino sa amin, guys. Mas matalino pa compared sa akin, compared to Ronnie Bats, compared to anyone in our lineup actually. Why did I say this? Kapag magtuturo kami ng subjects namin, we still have to review, okay? Do a quick scan of our notes, do a quick scan of our textbooks. Si Dr. Lu lang ang kilala kong teacher na kaya niyang i-lecture, hindi lang surgery eh. Mapapansin niyo to with the next few days, i-lecture niya yung anatomy, konting biochem, konting physio, konting micro. I-lecture niya lahat ng naalala niya from med school. Hindi talaga siya nagbabasa na. Ito lang talaga yung naalala niya from med school at marami siyang naalala from med school. So he's really smart and he's really very good. Dr. Lubomir Antonio is the main author of Surgery Platinum also. So you cannot find a better academician, a better surgeon. For me, he's the best surgery teacher in the Philippines, bar none. Okay? We have a lot of good surgery teachers sa Pilipinas, but they're usually super specialists na eh. Like, magaling mag-lecture sa neurosurge o magaling mag-lecture sa TCVS. For GS, okay, best in the Philippines, best in the world, si Doc Lu. Papansin nyo yan? Okay, panoorin nyo yung lectures niya within the next few days. We have a good combination, okay, to complement his style. Medyo iba, okay, pero magandang pagkakaiba will be Dr. Mabugat. Dr. Mabugat will be in charge of your pearls. That's basically the version of final coaching natin sa Top Notch. Is also the one who modified, updated your handouts. So yung nag-integrate ng March 2023 feedback sa handout, si Doc Mabugat yung gumawa. Okay? A graduate of LaSalle, University of LaSalle, Bacolod. Top 2 ng board exams niya noong November 2020. Top 1 ng 2014 MedTech Med Boards. Okay? Then for the quiz master, you'll have Dr. Justin Togonon, okay, top 1 ng October 2022 board exam, a graduate of the University of Philippines College of Medicine, magna cum laude, okay? And that's it. We'll be releasing the second edition of Surgery Platinum within the next few weeks. So aabot siya sa batch ninyo, itong bagong Surgery Platinum. We'll be doing an on-site book launch for Surgery Platinum within your batch. Do we need to read anything from Surgery Platinum, Doc, for our boards? None. You don't need to. Everything important sa Surgery Platinum we've already incorporated in your main handout. So you focus on the main handout. Okay, the lectures ni Sir, do not skip that. Nila Dr. Antonio, kahit gaano kahaba yan, trust me, panoorin nyo siya. Okay? And then you attend the Sunday summary lecture and do your practice test. Okay? For surgery, there's really no need to do anything else. No need to read. Doc, do we still need to read yung mga ab-site surgery? I think we've been able to cover those very well na. Okay? You just need to master now the material that we have. Okay? So that's it. Thank you so much. Let's hear now a testimonial from the March 2023 batch to talk about ano ang nangyari at ano yung mga lumabas. Okay? Doc Lala?
Okay, so for the sharing of his top-notch experience, we have, sorry.
Hi po, good morning.
Hi Doc, nandiyan ka na pala.
Hi Doc, good morning. Good
Doc
morning.
Alphonse, Lian.
Hi, so I'm going to share po how I prepared for surgery during the March 2023 review season. Okay, so first, we started with the first phase, the one where everyone's currently in now. For our time, kasi it was 1 week, pero I followed the schedule as Doc Broly suggested for us as well. I created a goal of topics to study within the day. So if I remember correctly, mga 2 to 3 yan a day, like now. Tapos after going through a topic, what I found most beneficial for me was doing practice tests na agad per topic. Kasi I'd use these to gauge my retention and build confidence na rin for some topics that I feel na strong ako with or others na I know I'm weak at. So once I was able to eliminate kasi yung kaba factor sa taking practice tests and the fact that I was able to add a little bit of healthy pressure in answering mga practice tests, I realized na these are super beneficial talaga. But I'll discuss more of this later siguro. After watching the videos and going through the handout at the same time, I did my second read. Kasi like Doc said, same for us. The first read is basically going through the videos and handouts as well. And then I did my quiz master session. But this isn't still the end of the battle. For the mastery period naman, I focused on pearls and sa amin buzzwords, the summary lecture sa inyo. And I did more practice exams. At this time also, I made this quick reference. Parang, I have this small notebook kasi. I don't know kung kita. Di pala. Anyway, I have a small notebook. I used this in the hours before the boards, in the minutes before the boards, on the way to the board exam. Kapag may mga high yield na sinabi yung mga lecturer, automatic sinusulat ko na. Or I take note of it pala on my handouts. So I can put this in a separate notebook later para on the way to boards or before I enter the venue, nakapag-review ako ng mga high yield. And then, based on the pearls and practice exams, if I feel like hilaw ako in certain topics, babalikan ko in the handout for the mastery period and of course for the pearls. And I would second read mga Waterloo topics ko. During the exam day, ako personally, I found the surgery exam to be hard. Kasi it's my favorite subject in med school. Pero I still found it difficult, even though I digested well naman the handouts. But the thing is kasi, although it was difficult for me, everything was in the everything I needed were in the handouts talaga. Everything was discussed by Dr. Antonio very well. Tama si Sir Broly, like makikita mo talaga, manghang-mangha kami sa kanya kasi he would pull out concepts of biochem from his head lang talaga. Tapos ito-drawing niya in his head, he'll explain it to us. And I believe that if you prepare well by listening well to his lectures and paying attention to what he says is high yield, you'll do well in the boards talaga. My exam versus what was endorsed to me, no? Ang sabi ng November 22 batch, their focus was on trauma, and it wasn't the most difficult exam, definitely. During my time, some people were saying it was harder. I don't think I heard anyone call it easy, but everyone did say that it was lectured by Dr. Antonio well. So my tips for the exam, no? For studying, a few guidelines lang siguro. Keep in mind always when treatment should be medical over surgical. No, at what point in the management does surgery come into play, and when alternatives to surgery are more amenable? It was like what Dr. Broly was saying, na IM and surgery go hand in hand. I'll discuss this also in a few. But it's true kasi the way that they structure the questions kasi, it can either be treated medically or surgically, no? And with surgery kasi, they don't really ask what is the best operation for the patient. No, it's really what comes next in the management of the patient. So you have to put into mind at what stage you are in the management of your patient, kung iba-biopsy pa lang or surgery na, anong klaseng biopsy, etc. I-discuss naman ni Sir. Familiarize yourself with the obvious nuances or generalities in surgery that are pointed out by Dr. Antonio. Since this is your first foray into the clinical subjects na rin, this goes for all other subjects. Know what is most common. Pag sinabi ng most common, take note of that na. And what the exceptions are to the rule. Lalo na in, for example, staging, in surgery, mga TNM, instead of having to memorize a whole table, just know at what point does the stage go up or down, etc. What are being emphasized in both the handout and by the lecturers of video, they're well emphasized for a reason. Again, anatomy goes hand in hand with surgery, and surgery naman goes hand in hand with IM. The way that the lectures are structured, no? When there are overlapping topics, the lecturers always point out if a topic will be discussed better by another lecturer of a different subject. In my case kasi, what I remember well as the repeating kumbaga topic was H. pylori. Ang tinatanong sa IM, what to diagnose the case, ang tinanong sa anatomy, if may butas sa ganitong area, what other structures will be affected behind it or on top of it? For surgery naman, what are the options for this patient, etc. So you'll see this the more we go on. Understanding kasi becomes easier if you're being given a multidisciplinary look into a single case. And because of how the subjects were released, it'll be a big help. Like knowing the anatomy will help you in surgery retention, knowing the pharmacology will know, if you have gone through your pharmacology well, they'll become more familiar in the coming weeks. So don't lose hope. Again, use the flashcards for recall questions kasi sayang yung mga points na to, yung mga tipong kaya mo na sanang sagot in less than 10 seconds, masasagot mo na, sayang ang points. Use the flashcards. And answer practice exams. The practice exams kasi give you a very appropriate patikim of what to expect. If I'm not mistaken, I kept saying this to my friends, the practice exams of Top Notch were basically a really good simulation of what the boards were na. And it goes without saying, but it's worth reiterating, no to distractions. During the exam, outside the exam venue, protect your peace. Wag makinig sa mga sabi-sabi. Don't listen to people who are trying to stir something up. No? Basta focus on yourself. Review your notes or do whatever you need to protect your peace. Before the exam starts, always pray. For me, it was St. Joseph of Cupertino, St. Jude. Very helpful kasi I passed naman. When the exam paper is on your desk, be confident. Always exhibit grace under pressure kasi the moment na kabahan ka na, the moment na you think all is lost, ma-affect lahat ng subsequent items. Read the questions properly. Watch out for mga except and mga double negatives. Sayang ang points. Very easy ito. Recall questions din to. May factor lang na except and double negative sometimes. Every point and every minute counts. Hindi rin biro ang shading. So, enough time to shade. That took me around 20 minutes. And then after the exam, lalo na for surgery, protect your peace again. Kasi this isn't the last exam of your boards. And sometimes, based on what I saw, based on my batch, and how I felt, very demoralizing sometimes. Lalo na kung sobrang hirap yung exam, demoralizing siya. Pero don't let anything stop your momentum. Focus lang. Misery loves company. So don't listen to naysayers. Tama na muna ang, like what Doc Brody was reiterating early on in the orientation. Don't listen too much to people on social media kasi damay-damayan lang yan. Focus on yourself. Good luck guys, kaya niyan.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Alphonse. Guys, do you have any questions for Doc?
Very thorough, Doc. Okay, very nice na testimonial. Feedback. Let's call it feedback, not testimonial. It's for the March 2023 Med Boards. Okay? So si Doc Alfonso ay ating, tama ba? Mentor for this ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yung mga gusto magpa-mentor kay Alfonsi, sabihin nyo na lang sa Mother Goose ninyo. Okay?
Doc, may question na parang, did you bring a car to the board site or hinatid ka?
I remember taking Grab on the 3rd and 4th day kasi na-discarga yung battery ko. But the first 2 days, I had no intention din po of bringing a car kasi dagdag stress lang yan. Di mo alam kung may parking. Nagsayang ka lang ng time, pwede ka man mag-relax. So for me, I best spent the minutes going to the boards. Talagang in my own world talaga sa likod ng kotse.
Okay. But you did eat, Doc?
Sorry, ma'am?
Kumain ka?
Ay, opo. Ang baon ko po for all 4 days was Red Ribbon Empanada. Kumapit ho ako doon.
Talaga?
Kumapit ho ako doon. As in, hanggang ngayon.
Immortal
ginawa
yan since 2000. Yung Red Ribbon Empanada na yan, immortal yan hanggang since 2001, 2002. Nag-umpisa yan sa UP Med eh. May students, several batches ahead of us na yun yung nire-recommend. Nagpapatawa lang kasi daw dahil swerte, pula, madaling kainin. Pinamana sa akin and then after that, nung boards ko, ginamit ko din siya. Yun din kinakain ko aside from French baker na croissants. Then the next batch ng Top Notch, tinuro ko na Red Ribbon, ganito, ganyan. So naging phenomenon na lang. Kasi kumalat eh, kinakalat na sa Top Notch na Red Ribbon. So to the point na nauubusan ng Red Ribbon Empanada pag boards. You have to do advance orders. And to the point na napansin ng Red Ribbon mismo that they actually sent out advertisements na parang okay lang yan, Doc, ganito, ganyan. Nakita nila yung phenomenon na doctor specifically, not nursing, not ang umu-order ng sobrang dami around the board exam season. So that's mainly because of Top Notch, yung mga estudyante. Tsaka mainly dahil sa UP, nung pinamana sa amin na advice by batches ahead of me. Okay, so nice cultural phenomenon. Okay, dapat ini-sponsor na tayo ng Red Ribbon Okay, na-boost natin yung sales nila for so many years.
Good daw yung topic. Would you recommend doing IF during the exams?
I think this was also mentioned by Doc Broly, no? Na it's a healthy practice. During the exam.
Not the exam, guys.
During the
What's the
exam.
exam?
I don't think so. Mahirap mag-isip
Ah.
kung gutom eh. Like a healthy amount of food lang siguro. Wag sobra sa caffeine kasi eventually aantukin ka. But yeah, don't do anything that makes you uncomfortable, overly uncomfortable during the exams because the test on its own is very calorie burning, stress inducing. So yeah, no to no to fasting po.
Doc, do they
For
allow
the
us to
actual board
review?
exam days to din, Lala, dagdagan ko lang yung sinabi ni Doc. I personally would recommend fasting pag before the exam. Okay? So while you're studying for the med boards, you do IF. Pero kung halimbawa, first time mong gagawin yung IF, tapos gagawin mo siya during the boards, I couldn't recommend that simply because it's an adjustment eh. So hindi mo nagawa yung adjustment period, bibiglain mo yung sarili mo. We don't know. Some people, it might help. It might help them focus better. For some people na especially yung kain ng sobra-sobra, processed food especially, bigla kang hindi kakain, maninibago ka talaga. So that's just one further distraction. So for the med boards, we'll be giving advice on what to do, what food to eat during the med boards. But basically for the food, avoid rice, avoid cola, avoid anything that can cause diarrhea. Okay? Eat light. Ang masarap na kain is after the med boards, after that day, but not during. So talagang sandwiches, water, okay, some juice, okay? Decrease the coffee. Tama yung sinabi ni Doc. Continue.
Another question is, what would you have done differently for your review in preparation for the surgery board exam?
In retrospect po, siguro if I had another chance to go back to the weaker topics, I would have. Pero kasi it's hard for me to say kasi I digested all the videos of Doc Antonio and hindi siya talaga kulang ho. There's nothing, parang everything is given to you for surgery, lalo na. With his lectures kasi it's basically the highest of highest yields of Schwartz. And siguro it's really sticking to the schedule if there's anything I want to reiterate, or it's sticking to the schedule, being able to digest everything in a healthy way. But everything is given na po, ma'am. So in retrospect, parang ako, ganun pa rin.
Okay. I just wanna ask, do they allow us to review on the iPad or hard copy during the board?
So ganito ma'am, yung before the boards and during the boards, there are some places daw that allow you to bring notes and read in between, pero during March, wala. Totally wala. In my venue at least, wala. The last time we were able to look at our notes was right before the entering the room for the first exam. After that, wala na. You have to surrender everything. I was able to bring my iPad naman po, and they would ask who brings gadgets. They'll take it from you, return it after. But if you're not the kind of person naman who used the iPad during the board review, don't bring na unnecessary things siguro.
Actually,
Kasi-
all electronic devices nakasulat
Oho.
na.
Oho. As much as possible, wag na ho.
Even electronic watch, di ba bawal?
Yes, ma'am. Opo. Don't add to your stress na lang siguro.
Another
Kasi-
question to, is it advisable to also do anatomy recall while going through surgery handouts, especially for those who feel na Waterloo talaga ang anatomy and need ng reinforcement?
For me ho, anatomy really was hand in hand with surgery kasi babalikan niyo ho talaga. Like it will appear in the handouts, it will appear in the lecture. So I don't think you have to open again your book for anatomy or your handouts for anatomy or go back to the lectures of anatomy, because the review done for surgery, the review that is necessary for anatomy in surgery is enough na rin ho.
Okay. I think there are no more questions from the group. Same daw po ba yung on-site lectures sa online? That's a question for Doc Banzuela, not Doc Alphonse.
Selected topics repeated 3 times based doon sa online. So yung slides ni Sir, pinili niya, okay, from the bibinigay niya online lecture videos. So he won't be obviously kung 24 hours yung lecture videos nyo, hindi niya i-cover lahat ng 24 hours na yun, di ba? Dahil nga i-repeat for 3 days. So he'll be selecting, but it will basically be kung ano yung PowerPoint na ginamit sa lecture videos, yun din yung PowerPoint na gagamitin ni Sir for on-site. Pinili nga lang niya. So nag-cherry pick siya. So just like what I've told you during the orientation, we're experimenting on the best approach to the hybrid, especially to our online classes. So yung ginawa ko sa Fisio, bawat day, iba-ibang modules. Okay, to cover all the modules. So ginawa na sa pharma and surgery so far, they're more comfortable with, they'll be cherry picking for their lectures, cherry pick some of the slides, and then repeat it 3 times. So we'll of course make an assessment, ask feedback from you, okay, ng mga nag-attend, okay, do some focus group discussions definitely also. And then also ask our teachers. And then from there, okay, titingnan natin yan, the different systems ng hybrid na ginawa natin. Then by October of 2024 batch, we'll be launching yung probably final form na ng hybrid setup sa Top Notch. Okay? So to answer the question, yes, it's based on the PowerPoint. They'll be using the same PowerPoint, but we will cover just some, not the entire online lecture videos. Okay? The topics I've mentioned earlier, to be more specific.
I think that's all the questions for today's session. Any last words, Doc?
That's okay kayo sa mga MGs ninyo. Some people nakikita ko na kapag alam ko natotoxic na yung estudyante kasi dumadami yung post sa Twitter. If you're going to make posts sa Twitter, of course I won't stop you. Anything that you want to post, feel free to express yourselves. But I would recommend as your teacher, from the basis of me as your teacher, please iwas ng konti yung tinatawag kong self-pity post. Yung mga tiyong, ba't ang bagal-bagal ko magbasa? Ba't ang baba-baba ng score ko? It doesn't help. You're looking for what? Pity from other people? You're pitying yourself? It won't improve your scores, to be honest. Baka better pa na, hindi naman din toxic positivity Better pa na mag-post ka ng mga practice questions na ginawa mo para makatulong sa iba. Okay? Better pa na siguro, even if you have to lean a little bit more towards positivity, okay, even if some may misinterpret as toxic positivity, I think that's still better. Better overall is to get on-site, face-to-face social support. Meaning instead of getting it from anonymous accounts sa Twitter, anonymous account from Discord, okay, get it from friends who know you, okay, makakain kayo a meal with them, classmates, makapag Q&A kayo with them, that's the best kind of social support. Makapag-run kayo personally with them over coffee, that's the best social support. For some people na, Doc, tapos na kasi yung mga kaibigan ko, nakapasa na ng boards, ako hindi pa. Well, that's the time that you do and search for people anonymously, perhaps in Twitter and in social media. But even then, I would recommend that you befriend them and you invite them over for an actual face-to-face encounter. Kasi right now, guys, iba yung, napansin ko na as a teacher iba yung social support pag face-to-face, iba kapag online, superior talaga. Yung makakain, mahag, makamayan mo, makapag face bump kayo, those may seem inconsequential, but they actually, malaki ang impact for the students mental health and for the students study strategies. Nababago pag nakikita niya kung paano mag-aral yung iba on a face-to-face basis. Pag nakita niya yung handout ng iba na, ganito siya mag-notes, it may impact. So take note of that, okay? Decrease your time on Twitter, decrease your time on social media, limit 1 hour at most per day. Okay, I won't stop you. If you want to post anything, I won't stop you. Of course, I cannot, even if I wanted to. But I can make the recommendations na, Doc, ito yung nakikita namin. Hindi kayo ang unang gumawa ng anonymous account sa Twitter. Hindi kayo unang nag-rant. This is what we found helpful. This is what we found not helpful based on our students. Yun lang, maraming salamat Doc Lala, maraming salamat Doc Alfonso Leandro. Okay?
Oh, sir.
All right. Thank you so much to all our viewers. Thank you so much, Doc Broly. Thank you so much, Doc Lumotad. So that's it for today, and happy Aral, everyone. Bye.